Rabbi Wilhelm, how are you?
Hi, Baruch Hashem.
Look at this, such a beautiful place you found yourself in.
What do you mean? It's time to relax. Everything has a time and space. Right now, Erev Shabbos, dedicate your time to the Parsha, and guess what? You show up.
I think that you're living with the times, and it's a beautiful thing that every time you're trying to incorporate the Parsha into your life. But I have to say that I think that you're taking it a little bit too far. Last week, Ba'alescha, basically you moved out, like they did. They moved from Machane to Machane.
That's right.
Now basically Parsha Shlach, you're touring the world and like you're living in a lap of luxury in different hotels over here. I think they're taking this a little bit too far, don't you?
Chazal say, "Le nivra kesef v'zav ela b'shvil beis hamikdash." The money was created for holy matters. So what was money? I've been seeing. I'm not going to ask you what your bank account looks like, stuffed to the rim. You have to spend some before you turn around. I mean, you have a bucket list, a wish list.
I see who you're connected with now. You're mamash chassid the Rebbe Maharash. You're here in this beautiful hotel over here. You're gonna go to the poker room and makarv some people. It's gonna be fun.
So you came for a Dvar Torah, or you came to tell me what's on your mind?
I came to see the light. You have some light for me?
I'll tell you, I have a question that bothers me in this week's Parsha. And especially, I have a friend who's a rabbi, a prominent rabbi, and a shtickle chazan. And every time I think about this pasuk, I think, well, how does he sing that pasuk? You know that when in L'chuna Ranana, everybody is always singing, dancing, L'chuna Ranana Hashem. And what's the end of that pasuk? End of that perek? Asher nishbati v'yapi im yavoyun el menuchasi. What's the yippee yay? What are you so happy that God's made a shvua? Asher nishbati ba'api. I made a shvua. I'm not going to let these guys into Eretz Yisrael. These troublemakers. And the Abisha says, yep, I kept my promise. 40 years they were in the Midbar. What are you singing and dancing about that? You know, the only thing I have to say is, if any one of the Greisa Talmid Chachamim will listen to this, Levi, Zushi, Baruch Tzvi, if they're going to come up with an answer, no answer is going to satisfy me. It reminds me of the Chassidish Shavart. Why is it that every mimer starts with the same question? What's the question? Lama Yardan Neshama Lagov. And the mimer goes on to explain, and the next mimer starts again. Lama Yardan Neshama. I thought you answered it already. The question, there are certain questions that don't get answered. The celebration, Asher Nishbati B'Yapi, that God, Arbarim Shana Akabadar, those Jews were in the midbar for 40 years because of this week's parsha. 40 years, for 40 days, they didn't miss. It doesn't make sense. You want to hear a better question? What's the the better question is, the second after the midbar get their punishment? Let's celebrate. What is the Abisha talk about? What is the first mitzvah afterwards? Nisachim. the pouring of the wine. It's like salt on the wound. Here, you gave them a massive punishment. And right, as tell them, if I should try to say, don't, for the people who will survive and make it into Eretz Yisrael, so we'll tell them, yes, there's some good things about to happen. But now, at this moment, you're in the midbar, when you just handed down the harshest punishment, you say, let's celebrate with wine. Nisachim. This whole thing doesn't make sense to me. I saw one commentary try to say with a mushal. Could I take down my feet, or you like my shoes?
This is not.
All right. Anyway, I saw one commentary try to say a gishmak avard. He says there was once a chash of a person that was walking up to the stage, and as he's walking on the stage, he got his sleeve dirty. He's got kapata sleeve dirty. Oh, a chocolate cake, one of these things that you eat a lot. And everybody was trying to hush it, not to make him embarrassed. However, from upstairs, a woman screams out, Rabbi Yankel, your jacket is dirty. Who is this woman screaming out? His wife. And the question is, if his wife calls out from upstairs, why didn't all his Talmidim or all his people who know him tell him? Because nobody cares as much as his wife. Everybody else was going to make it a hush-hush thing. One who cares tells him clean up the mess. So somebody tried to say, that the same as with the Asher Nishbati Ba'api, it's because Hashem cares about us so much. He says, I'm going to clean up mess. I don't like that. I'm going to wait for a response from all our listeners. But to give one lesson that we have to live with is in this week's parsha. It also talks about the mitzvah of challah. Reishis harisei tarimu challah Hashem. And the Rebbe speaks about it, and all the Mefarshim speak about it, that the beginning, the first, has to be tarimu challah Hashem. Yes, there's Hasidic interpretations. Reishis arisa seichem also means your bed. Arisa is a bed. When you go to sleep at night, say a tefillah, tarimu challah Hashem. Challah maloshin vayichal Hashem, vayichal Moshe. Or when you wake up in the morning, right with a tefillah. Don't go straight into the cereal milk or the cheesecake. The first thing is, at the best part of the day, when you're most energetic, some people, I know I've been seeing, some people, they're like diesel engine, takes them to warm up. But most of the good people just come out swinging. And the first thing, and when you're the most energetic, is to dedicate that time for the Eibishter. And don't daven 6 in the afternoon, because Shkia is 6 in the afternoon. Daven right in the beginning of the day. The best, the most energized moments of your day, give away for the Eibishter.
Thank you very much. Anything more?
Not today. Was it any?